Hello, future Bostonians. Are you thinking about moving to Boston in 2025? Well, you've come to the right place. Boston is a fantastic city like none other. It's filled with culture, history, diverse neighborhoods, world-class amenities. It is a place where you can both enjoy the energy of big city living, not too big of city living because it's still got that old New England charm and old New England feel at times. But like any city, Boston has its positives and negatives. So whether you're relocating for work, school, or maybe this is a start of a new adventure for you, you want to know what to expect before making this big move. So in this video, we're going to go through the top 6 pros and cons of living in Boston. You'll get a comprehensive look of everything that makes this city a wonderful place to live and some of the things you want to keep in mind before making that final decision. So grab a coffee, grab a water, get hydrated, settle in, and let's explore what makes Boston so special and what challenges you'll face if you decide to make this your new home. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk about one of the biggest draws of Boston. Its rich history and vibrant culture. Boston is one of the oldest cities in America, and everywhere you turn, you feel like you're walking through history, sometimes literally. Whether you're walking down the cobblestone streets of Beacon Hill, or you're visiting landmarks like the Boston Tea Party ships, the USS Constitution, Old North Church, the grave sites of Paul Revere, or Sam Adams, Boston is a city where the past is always present. So for history buffs, this city is like a living museum where you can literally walk through the events that help shape America's history. You literally can follow the Freedom Trail that's going to take you through the landmarks in and around Boston that helped shape America's revolutionary past. It's not just about the history though. This city is a thriving center of culture and arts. It's home to some of the most respected museums in the world, the Museum of Fine Arts, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. It's home to the Boston Symphony Orchestra. The cultural scene has something for everyone. For world-class theater performances, head down to the Theater District. It's where you can see a lot of Broadway shows as a preview before they go to Broadway. We've talked about the art galleries. If you like live music, make sure you go check out a show at MGM Music Hall or House of Blues, just to name a few. Boston is also known for its annual festivals, the Boston Arts Festival, the Boston Calling Outdoor Music Festival, a 3-day music festival that's right next to Harvard University. So whether you're into history, arts, live music, theater, what have you, Boston has something to offer you. So for those who love a city with character and culture, Boston's depth of history and artistic scene and culture can make you feel like you're discovering potentially something new every day. Now, while Boston is undoubtedly a city of history, charm, culture, one major con is the high cost of living. Boston has become one of the most expensive cities to live in the US. So whether you're looking to buy or rent, you're going to find that the housing prices are higher than the national average. I get a lot of frustration or hear a lot of frustration. Why is Boston more expensive than these other major cities or these major metropolitan areas? Supply versus demand, as always. So neighborhoods like Back Bay, Beacon Hill, and Seaport District, they're known for their beautiful architecture and their proximity to the waterfront, but they're particularly pricey. Renting, unfortunately, no easier. I mean, rental prices still steep in Boston. Many renters find themselves spending a significant portion of their income just to secure a decent apartment. So even areas that were once affordable, and I put that in air quotes, like Jamaica Plain or South Boston, they've seen the rental prices rise due to just increased demand. So it can make it tough for those who are on a budget trying to find a suitable place to live without stretching that budget. So unfortunately, the high cost of living also extends outside of the real estate market. So everyday expenses like groceries, utilities, transportation, dining out are all higher than the national average as well. And those world-class amenities, all that culture, going to a theater, going to a concert, going to a museum, they come with a price tag as well. So if you're moving to Boston, it's going to be essential to budget carefully and consider neighborhoods outside the city center where prices may be a little more reasonable, but you're still in Boston proper. So areas like Dorchester, Mattapan, sections of Roxbury can provide more affordable options, but you still have that easy access to downtown and the amenities therein. Now back to the pros, and one of the major pros of living in Boston is the strong job market and educational opportunities. Boston has a thriving economy, particularly in the fields of biotech, healthcare, education, pharmaceuticals. This city is home to some of the most innovative companies in the world. For example, Kendall Square in Cambridge is known as the most innovative square mile on the planet, thanks to its concentration of biotech companies and tech startups in that area. So if you're looking for work, you'll find plenty of opportunities here, especially if you're in one of those fields. But whether you're an engineer, tech entrepreneur, financial analyst, or healthcare professional, Boston does have one of the most vibrant job markets in the country. So with a highly educated workforce, numerous opportunities for professional growth, Boston is really a great place to build and grow your career. But it's not just the job market that makes Boston an attractive city. This city is home to the most prestigious universities and colleges in the world. I'm talking Harvard University, MIT, Boston University, Northeastern University. It feels like you can't walk more than a block or two without bumping into another great school. So whether you're a student looking to move to Boston for that top-notch education or a professional looking to expand your skills or continue your growth, Boston offers incredible resources for both personal and professional development. Now, one of the most significant cons of living in Boston is the traffic and public transportation challenges. If you're used to living in the city with a nice, easy commute, Boston might be a rude awakening for you. The city streets, old, narrow. Many of these roads were built during colonial times, long before the advent of modern cars. If you're looking for a downtown with an easy-to-follow, convenient grid system, that's not what you're going to find in Boston. During rush hour, getting around Boston by car can be frustrating, time-consuming. Traffic jams are frequent, long commute times are frequent. It can feel like you're trying to schedule a space shuttle launch, looking for that perfect time window where there isn't traffic. It's a small window, trust me. So parking can also be a headache. If you're living in downtown, city center, you may find that you're paying a lot of money. These parking spots can be expensive. If you're relying on street parking, well, that can have its own challenges trying to find a spot that isn't residential permit parking. Or if you have residential permit parking, trying to find a spot available, late at night. So it can be a hassle or expensive depending. While Boston does have a public transportation system known as the MBTA, or also known as the T, it's not always the most efficient system. The subway and buses are often crowded, especially during peak hours. There are delays, occasional service interruptions that can make your commute unpredictable. Sometimes you don't know the day that those delays or interruptions are going to happen. And in winter, snow and ice can also play a factor as well. So if you're planning on relying on public transportation, just be prepared for some challenges, some frustrations. Make sure that you're leaving yourself a good time window to get to wherever you need to be on time. However, if you're living in a walkable neighborhood like South End, Back Bay, or Fenway, you might be able to avoid the worst of traffic and get out on foot or get around on foot. Public transportation may not be perfect, but a lot of people are able to get around by bike or foot as a viable alternative. Boston, though, does cater very well to bikers. A lot of bike lanes in and around the city to take advantage of. Now back to the pros, because a major pro of living in Boston is its walkability and access to green spaces. Boston is one of the most walkable cities in the United States, and many of its neighborhoods really cater to the pedestrians. Boston may be a big city, but it's not a big city geographically. It's not that hard to walk from one side of Boston to the other. It's not an all-day trek. Far from it. So whether you're walking to your local restaurant or strolling through the Boston Common or just heading to work, I think you'll find that walking in Boston can not only be convenient, it will definitely be enjoyable as well. Now, for those who love the outdoors, Boston offers plenty of green spaces. You have the Emerald Necklace, which is a series of parks that stretches from Fenway to and through Jamaica Plain, has opportunities for hiking, biking, walking, areas for picnicking, and just hanging out. Boston Common is the oldest U.S. park in the U.S. Perfect for a leisurely stroll. You can check out the Boston Common Gardens. You can check out a softball game. So much to do in the Common. The Charles River Esplanade provides stunning waterfront views, and there are opportunities for sailing, kayaking, and paddleboarding. Now, living in a walkable neighborhood means you're always close to shops, restaurants, parks, what have you. Easy access to outdoor spaces and the ability to get around by foot is important to you. Boston is a dream city to live in. So whether you're enjoying a relaxing day in that park or commuting to work, Boston's pedestrian-friendly environment is one of the pros and standout features of this city. If you're considering a move to Boston, one con you should definitely keep in mind, it's the harsh winters. Boston winters can be long, cold, and snowy. If you're not used to New England winters or New England climate, it can definitely take some adjustment. Snowstorms can be frequent. We didn't see a lot of snow the last couple winters, but here in 2025, we've already seen a couple snowstorms come on through. Temperatures often dip below freezing. This can all mean shoveling, scraping your car, needing to layer up on those winter coats, winter clothing, and boots. The city can also experience extreme cold temperatures, especially in January and February. We just got done with a stretch where highs were in the teens and 20s for a long time. Obviously, outdoor activities less appealing. You're staying inside during those stretches. Public transportation, we mentioned already, can be disrupted by snow, ice. Driving can become treacherous. So while Boston does have winter sports opportunities, you're not too far away from an ice rink, an ice pond that's frozen over, or great opportunities for skiing. For those who aren't a fan of the snow, winter sports, these long winter months can feel like a major downside. So before moving to Boston, just make sure you're ready for the cold. That means investing in that quality winter gear. Get that winter coat, get those sweaters, get those boots, and just make sure you're ready for the challenges that come with snowy weather. And as always, make sure when you're commuting that you're building in extra time, especially during snowstorms and when ice is prevalent as well. One of the highlights of living in Boston is its diverse and welcoming community. Boston is a city that's really grown into a place where people from all walks of life can come together. It's a home to a melting pot of cultures, backgrounds, traditions. So whether you're moving from a different part of the country or a different country altogether, Boston is a city where you should feel welcomed. There are communities for everyone, and you'll find neighborhoods that celebrate everything from Italian culture in the North End or Caribbean heritage in parts of Dorchester and Mattapan. The city's diversity is reflected in its neighborhoods and the neighborhood's cuisines, festivals, community events. It's a place where you can walk through different parts of the city and experience new languages, traditions, celebrations. So whether you're attending a community event or visiting an ethnic market or enjoying an international meal at a food truck or restaurant, Boston can offer that truly global experience if that's what you're looking for. And those looking for a community-oriented environment, Boston offers a welcoming atmosphere that you can easily make connections, build relationships, and feel at home in your neighborhood. Just one warning, just don't be a Yankees fan is all. Another con to think about when moving to Boston is the limited housing inventory and the intense competition. The demand for housing in Boston has always been high, but with the thriving job market, the new residents coming in as a result of those opportunities, and a constant influx of new students, it makes for an incredibly competitive housing market. So whether you're looking to rent or buy, you may find that those desirable properties in your preferred neighborhoods are sometimes getting snatched up, often within days of being listed. As a result, home buyers and renters, they need to be prepared to act fast, and you may come across, more likely than not, some bidding wars. The competition means you need to be able to be flexible with your must-haves, or you need to compromise perhaps on location, size, amenities if you're trying to find that right spot that's still within your budget. Additionally, Boston still has a low housing supply. Does it seem like it's getting better at times? Yes, but the competition is still fierce. You're going to encounter challenges trying to find affordable homes in the popular neighborhoods. Renters in particular will be dealing with high rent prices and low inventory when it comes to apartment listings. So if you're looking for a home in that downtown core area, places like Back Bay, Beacon Hill, Seaport District, I know I keep on bringing those up, but be prepared for steep competition, steep prices, and you may need to adjust your either expectations or your search strategy accordingly. On top of that, the city's healthcare system ensures that its residents has access to top-tier medical care. Whether you're seeking a primary care physician, a specialist, preventive care, Boston has a robust network of providers. The overall quality of care is exceptional, and so it's a great place for families, professionals, or even retirees who prioritize the access. Boston is also well known for its healthcare system, making it an excellent city for both residents and healthcare professionals. The city is home to some of the best hospitals in the country and medical research institutions as well, including Massachusetts General Hospital, Brigham and Women's Hospital, Boston Children's Hospital. These institutions, these hospitals are not only renowned for their outstanding medical care, but also for their medical research and innovation. Boston has become a real hub for the healthcare industry. And if you work in this field, the opportunities are abundant. So whether you're in clinical care, research, medical technology, Boston's extensive network of hospitals, universities, biotech companies, pharmaceutical companies are there to help support your career and your profession. On top of that, the city's healthcare system ensures that its residents has access to top-tier medical care. While Boston offers an incredible dining and entertainment scene, it can be expensive. The city has wonderful restaurants, high-end restaurants as well. I'm talking Michelin-starred restaurants. I'm talking about restaurants with James Beard award-winning chefs. The boutique shops. Newbury Street is a stretch that goes through Boston with high-end retail stores. You can easily drop a paycheck or five shopping on Newbury Street. Entertainment venues, Fenway Park for the Red Sox, TD Garden for the Celtics or Bruins, or going to see a concert or a show. Again, these tickets generally not inexpensive. So when you wrap it all up, going out for a night in Boston those costs can add up real quick. I'm someone who likes to go see dinner and a show. Is it something I'm doing every night? Certainly not. Is it something I can do maybe once a week or every once in a while? Yeah, I could swing that. But just know if you're heading downtown, if you're going to a restaurant, if you're going to see a show or see a museum, what have you, that's not necessarily going to be most inexpensive night. Again, the cost can get pretty high pretty quickly. Can you find some more affordable options, maybe on the outer reaches or edges of Boston proper? Certainly. But just know that if you're going out for a night in a town in Boston, it's going to be a lot of fun, but it might put a little dent in the wallet as well. Another massive pro of living in Boston is its exceptional educational opportunities. Like we said, Boston is home to some of the most prestigious universities and colleges in the world. Shall we run down the list again? MIT, Harvard, Northeastern, Boston University, Emerson College, Suffolk Law, to name a few more. These schools draw students from all over the globe and locally, of course. And so at times it really gives Boston a college town feel. Not only does Boston offer this unparalleled access to these top tier schools and universities, but it's also, as a result, a hub for lifelong learning if you want it. So whether you're pursuing a degree or looking to expand your knowledge or continue your education, all these schools have a variety of programs, seminars, continuing education courses. So Boston can be an ideal city for people who are focused on personal career growth and continuing education. And Boston's high quality and commitment to education doesn't just stop in the universities and colleges. The public school system consistently ranks among the best in the US for a wide range of options, charter schools, private schools, magnet schools on top of the public school system. So if you have children and educational opportunities as high above your priority list or high atop your priority list, perhaps some peace of mind that Boston has access to that high quality learning and those learning resources. Finally, the last con of living in Boston is the limited space and what can be at times crowded living conditions. As a city that is geographically small, it's tightly packed with people and buildings. Finding spacious housing can be a challenge. Boston's not building out anymore, not developing out, we're developing up. So Boston, again, is a city with older streets, historic buildings, high population density. That means many homes and apartments can be smaller compared to what you would find in other cities. It can be difficult to find large spaces, large living spaces, unless you're willing to pay a premium on that price. So the high population density can contribute to crowded conditions, especially during peak commuting hours or in popular neighborhoods. So if you prefer an open space or suburban feel, downtown Boston may not provide the living experience what you're looking for. So if you're looking for more outdoor space, more of a suburban feel, or larger living spaces without paying that downtown premium, you're going to be looking more towards the outside areas or edges of Boston to find what you're looking for.
So you're ready to make the move to Boston and call this amazing city your new home? If that is the case and you're starting to search for the perfect neighborhood or explore your housing options or just looking for some insider tips, I'm here to help you every step of the way. So feel free to call, text, email. You can visit my website for more information, or you can follow me on Instagram. But don't wait. Boston's housing market is competitive. It is fast-paced, like we discussed. Finding your dream home here can take some time, but really just requires some expert guidance. So reach out today and let's see if we can turn that dream into reality. In the meantime, if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, though, and I can't wait to help you start your next chapter in this amazing new city.